Did you guys see that Jimmy Fallon had Greg Gutfeld on his show the other day? It's funny because Stephen Colbert has been canceled and is enjoying the best ratings he's had in years since the cancellation, as people kind of hold on to something that might have been if it wasn't for the fact that he was canceled. But all of the late night hosts feel like they're on edge, and Trump has done his best to also kind of poke at this by saying like, hey, you Fallon, hey, you Kimmel, you guys are next. And Fallon had Greg Gutfeld on. It was the most boilerplate softball interview. I made it through 4 minutes of them talking about some bar they ran into each other at like a gazillion years ago, and it spiked his ratings higher than he'd seen in years. It said that he had a multi-year high, drew 1.71 million viewers, and the share increased during Gutfeld's segment for literal fluff. Nothing. Yeah,
I mean, he froze out half the country, so it's like, of course your viewership's gonna spike. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of surprised it didn't spike more than that because, I mean, I remember it wasn't that long ago when Fallon was still considered a fairly neutral product, and I remembered like in high school, even like middle school. I mean, very conservative family. We would watch Fallon because it was
I hate him less than Kimmel because he doesn't cry as much as Kimmel.
Well, Fallon comes across as like an empty husk of a man. Yes. So that's why I like him, because I like people like that.
Because that's what like literally your job as a late night host is. You're literally just an empty vessel for writers.
Like you can tell Kimmel genuinely is like down with the cause. Yeah. Fallon doesn't know what's going on. I don't think he has a soul.
It blows my mind that Kimmel is down with the cause when you think back on like the Man Show.
Sure, yeah.
Like the Juggies and girls jumping on trampolines, and
they all evolved, like Stern evolved.
Well, not all of them, because I mean Adam Carolla didn't.
Well, Carolla, yeah.
Yeah, but he's the exception, not the rule, and he had to go make his own way.
I mean, I get so much flack for this, but it's just true. It's like if George Carlin were still alive today, he would be doing like, oh, these people, they think the vaccines are bad. Like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, and it drives people crazy. I'm like, because that, if you you track with everyone else from that generation of comedy, and they were like, aggressive or whatever, but they just naturally evolved into just kind of generic lib.
Yep.
So the most viewed clip that they had was 916,000 views. That one with Gutfeld. The next best was like 400,000, and it got me to thinking. It's like whenever these guys falter, the Kimmels, the Fallons, the Colberts, they're like, well, maybe you shouldn't preach to the audience, and everybody gets that image of, who was the one who had the vaccine, like the dancing
Colbert.
Vaccines behind him? Was that Colbert? I don't watch much Gutfeld, but they get into plenty of politics in there. Like at the very least, culture war.
Yeah, I mean, and like the thing with Fallon is his show isn't nearly as preachy as the other ones.
Yeah.
Like Colbert, Oliver, like it's actually like they're doing a monologue. They open with a monologue, and it's purely like Fallon, like he'll take a jab at Trump, and it's like just obnoxious, but he's never sitting there like talking about a bill like Colbert will. So like Fallon's probably the only show that could be saved because Conan's gone. Fallon is the only show.
He lost when he did the Haiti thing.
Yeah, because because Fallon's like his show. Not him himself, but the Tonight Show is an institution in and of itself. It will draw star power.
Well, then Jay Leno was like criticizing them for like shutting out half the audience, for being like, you guys are dumb. And then Letterman fell down on the other side of the issue and it was like, no, CBS is evil for canceling you. And I'm like, bro, just do the top 10 list.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, so if Fallon does like open up to the rest of the country, like with his bookings and his comedy and that sort of thing, people forgive him. Yeah. Like Colbert can never do that. Not that he ever would. Kimmel can't do that. Fallon, like I said, because he's kind of just an empty husk. Like we don't know what he believes. Like it doesn't matter. He can kind of be the barometer of American culture, and that's perfectly fine.
The fact that he's an empty husk and you don't really know what he believes is actually kind of what he should be doing.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Like that. Like I don't.
That's what late night is.
I'm not particularly critical of Jimmy Fallon, and I don't get the sense that he's a shit lib. Like I get the sense that he does what is popular in Hollywood, but he's not doing it because he's got convictions. Like everyone knows Mark Ruffalo is
like an activist.
Like he is just a straight up leftist.
Yeah, right.
And there are a bunch of people that are in Hollywood that are pure leftists that are, Trump's name comes up and they get angry. I don't like Fallon doesn't come across
did you see
like
the
that.
clip the other day? What was this lady's name? I had it pulled up and then I think I deleted it because it was so irrelevant. Some lady from Bravo who was like, you shouldn't like white Trump supporters shouldn't be able to eat at Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you should be banished to Cracker Barrel. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah, that sounds
I love Cracker
awesome.
Barrel. Are
yeah.
you kidding me? I'll get a piece of meatloaf right now.
Yeah,
Just so long as we can agree that Taco Bell is white people food, that it's not actually Mexican,
ours.
I'm fine.
It's amazing food is what it is.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It
yeah.
is.
But those people, and to be fair, that's like a podcast. A podcast isn't the same thing as late night. Like what you said, carries a brand name, is an institution. Like Leno was Leno, but the Tonight Show was the Tonight Show, and the Late Show.
The host is rarely bigger than the show.
And they should have brought. I mean, but the thing is Leno and Letterman were like maybe not bigger than the show, but they built huge brands off the shows so that they could spiral off into whatever. So that Leno could buy 10,000 cars and Letterman could go work for Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, the Leno to Conan handoff, obviously,
that was a huge thing.
It was a huge thing.
That was before your time. You were like 2 when that happened.
But I remember when the show transitioned to Fallon, and it was obviously different, but it was still a really big show. Like 2015, Jimmy Fallon was crushing.
And I think you're right, Phil, about like they're supposed to kind of be like there's a tone to what they're supposed to do. It's like when you have one of these singing competitions. There's the judges, there's the contestants, and then there's the Carson Daly. And his job is to not be there, but be there. Yeah. Which is like, I remember watching this clip where he's like, great job.
Terry Crews does that now.
Yeah.
And he's great at it.
Ryan Seacrest.
And their job is literally to seem like innocuous as if they weren't there.
Yes.
They're like, they say, great job, guys, and then they hold the mic to you. They can carry the show. They can move you from segment to segment. Late night is kind of on a similar path, which is like
a great observation.
It's their job to move you in a certain direction with whatever their 200 writers funded by U.S. Aid tell you to do, but they're not supposed to stand out in the same way.
That's a
like Craig
great
Ferguson had a great delivery. Even think of Norm Macdonald on Weekend Update because it was comedy. He had his style. He had his thing. But that's not the same thing as like an actual late night show. Conan kind of had that with his deadpan.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of had his own particular style that I don't think could be like you can't swap Conan out for someone else. Fallon, you can swap him quite easily. And but yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a value, someone like Fallon, where it's like a waiter. I don't want to hear my waiter's opinion. Just bring me my food. It's the same thing with Fallon. It's like, I don't want your opinion. Just bring me your funny bit where you make, Jennifer Aniston, do the Chubby Bunny challenge or whatever. Just deliver that,
I bet you if you look back, there's probably infinite evidence of Fallon actually being the shit lib. It's just that he feels like an empty husk, so it doesn't matter.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's just,
and that's,
it doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter. And for me, it's never mattered. And I think part of that is like, I fried my brain a long time ago, so I forget things. I know the actors that are like the worst of the worst, but none of like specific examples come up. So like when you mentioned Mark Ruffalo, I watch The Hulk. I watch Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, and I know he said a bunch of crazy shit, but I don't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head. I watched something with a Wendell Pierce or a Kirk Acevedo or any of these actors. I know that they're shitheads, but I don't know what they said specifically, and I prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Fallon, really.
And late night TV is.
There's something of value that I feel like we're losing without like there's something about dragging these bums, these dumb celebrities out, and like putting them on camera and making them do these dumb games. There is some value to that because it kind of like it humanizes them in a really weird way where you realize, oh, these people are psychos.
Or what's the shows like the Jennifer Hudson show where they have to do the stupid dance out to the stage? Yeah. It's just a humiliation
gay
ritual.
White guys acting like black women.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst. Oh my gosh.
And late night is dying off anyways because it's relative to a bygone era. The reason Gutfeld does the numbers that he does is because it's on Fox, which is full of people who are cashing in their AARP cards for.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, but it's not like there isn't preaching there.
Yeah.
You're just preaching to more of an actual audience, whereas nobody's watching Fallon or any of that stuff because they don't ring true with the general public.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes. I mean, that's what we're seeing here is Jimmy Fallon's breaking glass in case of emergency. And he's the only guy that can pull this off. Like Kimmel can't bring Gutfeld on and turn it into a debate.
No, and if Kimmel did it, he'd start crying.
Kimmel would be offensive to him. It would be, you're the enemy. He wouldn't treat him as a guest. He'd be treated as opposition.
Fallon brought him on, and like they almost came off as old friends because they had somehow, for whatever reason, I don't know how much they interact with each other, but they clearly ran in the same circles. So Fallon very much came off as someone that was non-confrontational. It's just like, oh, they're bringing him on. Okay.
It's their job to be able to fake that type of connection. I don't remember who it was. More than one person has talked about, more than one celebrity has talked about like their first experience doing a late night show where they go on and the guy's like super friendly and super nice. And they're talking, they're having this lively discussion, and then the camera's cut because they go to commercial, and the guy just disengages entirely and starts reading his notes and doing his job. And they're like, "What the hell? Like you were just talking to me like we were best friends, and now you're pretending like I'm not even there." That's their job. It's their job to fake human connection.
The best clip was Rami Malek on, and he like touches Fallon's arm, like just innocuously in a conversation. Like, oh, that's funny. He taps his arm, and Fallon looks down, and he's like disgusted, and just like in the middle, like on live television. I'm like, that's just a quick look into whatever he is hiding or whatever he's done is more dark than you can possibly imagine. Because in that moment, you saw a look into his soul, and it's very disturbed.
Wait, who was the one who had on the girl from Homeland, and she was like revealing all the secrets about the CIA, and they're like, stop.
Oh yeah, it was Colbert.
It was Colbert.
Yeah,
he had on what's her name from Claire Danes from Homeland, and
it was something just like broadly conservative, and he was like, yeah, so anyway, how's the movie business?
Well, it wasn't even conservative. It was like, like we met with members of the CIA to talk about like what we're supposed to talk about in the media.
That's what it was.
Like, you're not supposed to give the secret away.
Yeah, the weather's nice recently, right? Yeah.
All right. Again, say what you want, but late night TV is a dying model, and these things are all going to be eaten up as these shows try to move to the digital space, because in 20 years there will be nobody watching these because nobody's going to be watching terrestrial television at all. And if it's going to be consumed, it's kind of like me with wrestling, which is like there's 10,000 hours of wrestling on every week. I watch 0 of it, and I listen to podcasts of people talking about it.
Yeah.
Like eventually what's going to happen is like Joe Rogan has the Joe Rogan Experience, and then there's like those guys who host like the Joe Rogan, what was the podcast reviewing the Joe Rogan show? Like eventually someday they're like, okay, somebody's going to do the Jimmy Fallon report, and and he'll have more charisma than him.
I do think there's going to be in like 10, 20 years, Fallon is going to do these like tell-all podcasts, and he's going to talk about like COVID. I don't know, it could be even sooner than that. And he's going to do it. He's going to have an arc. I'm calling it now. He's going to have an arc where he becomes like broadly conservative, vaguely conservative, and he's going to like he's going to throw his writers under the bus. He's going to throw the like production team under the bus. And he's like, they made me push this, that, and the other, and I guarantee it. It's gonna maybe even 5 years. It's gonna happen.
The Daily Beast said Jimmy Fallon fawns all over MAGA late night host Greg Gutfeld in softball chat. It was a softball chat, I'll give him that.
But like, was Jimmy Fallon ever done a confrontational?
Was he supposed to be like, so what are your thoughts on immigration?
Yeah.
Like, let's debate.
Have you ever seen the show? Like, what does Jimmy Fallon bring The Rock on? He's like, this abortion bill, right?
Can we talk about Gaza now? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Let's talk about the war in Gaza.
And that was this guy's interpretation. He says, and of course, what remains of BuzzFeed was eager to attack Fallon for daring to platform him. This seals it for me. People are completely turning on Jimmy Fallon as his recent talk show guest is not. It's not pretty. People are turning on him because he had Gutfeld on.
Dare you platform the guy that's on the biggest channel in television?
You were polite to a guest. How dare you?
They say platform like he's not on primetime television, the primetime slot, like probably the biggest show in his time slot. And they're like, how dare you platform him?
I think a big part of the reason why they look at it like that is because they're afraid that the people that they already have kind of under their spell are like, oh, wait a minute. He's just a guy,
and it's Fox.
Yeah, they hate that when you humanize them and show.
Like you don't, if you humanize them and you quote unquote give them a platform, you make these people that they spend so much time demonizing. You make these people into human beings, and it ruins their consistent demonization, right?
And you're not exactly going to pick up any like threatening policy positions from Fox News.
No, God, no.
Yeah, it's like they're acting like it's going to be this huge containment. Oh my gosh, no, they're watching Neil Cavuto.
if they watch Greg Gutfeld, next thing you know, they're going to be listening to Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
It's the Gutfeld.
Oh no, they believe in free market economics.
It's the Gutfeld to Fuentes pipeline.
Yeah.
It's undefeated. One Redditor says, I've never liked Fallon, and I like him even less now. It's always like, I never liked that guy.
Yeah.
I
There's
never liked
something
that guy.
off about the guy that played games every night in a show.
There's no defense of this, another asserted. This dude is part of the tinderbox that is MAGA. Fallon having him on means I now hate Jimmy Fallon. I've given him every benefit of the doubt throughout the last 2 decades, but this seals it for me.
That's psychopath behavior. If you
also,
were like, he had this guy that I don't like on, so now I hate him, that's crazy person stuff.
And also, like, where have you been? Fallon was a big part of the reason Trump like was so charismatic, because he brought Trump on.
Oh yeah, and did the
touch. And it was a great look for Trump. It was a fantastic like knockout media appearance, and like, I mean, obviously that's not the primary reason, but it was a contributing factor. So it's like, oh, Gutfeld, you draw the line, but like Fallon helped Trump across the line in a somewhat meaningful way with the interview. It was a fantastic interview. Same with the SNL. And it's like, oh, now it's.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think people forget it wasn't that long ago when cross-pollination in media was very it wasn't nearly as divided. And that's
Carson didn't Johnny Carson have on Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, all the late night shows.
Because we were a more connected country at the time, so it's like, oh, the other party won. Oh shucks, I hope America does better.
Yeah, the Tonight Show would always bring on the presidential candidates.
It's
that was like a big thing.
All of this divide in the country where the opposing political opinions are actually evil and we can't talk to them. That all started around 2010.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.